So I was not introduced properly. So my name is Dr. Abhay Jere. I am Chief Innovation Officer from Ministry of HRD. Okay. In Ministry of HRD now, we have Innovation Cell. And all the activities in India related to innovation, especially in education institutes, are under me. So I will be here covering 2 or 3 things. 3 new initiatives which we are working on. The first is Smart India Hackathon initiative, which is quite an old initiative now. This is the 3rd edition which we are into it. Then ARIA, which is Atal Innovation Ranking, for ranking all institutions in India on their innovation ability. And the 3rd is IIC. I think it's not written here. That is Institutional Innovation Councils. Okay? So I just want to know how many of you are here just for ARIA, A-R-I-I? Anyone here? Just for ARIA ranking. So you are part of ARIA. You have already registered? Contest of it. Okay. You are from Jadavpur University. Okay. And how many are from for IIC here? Again, more or less the same crowd. ARIA and IIC both. Huh. Okay. And how many? And the remaining, I think, are for Smart India Hackathon, which is currently. How many of you have participated in hackathon previous editions? Anyone of you? 1, 2, 3. Previous editions of Smart India Hackathon. You are hosted. Okay. So you know. Apart from the host institute, how many of you have participated? Just raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay. How many of you have participated in any kind of hackathons? Ma'am, you know, I know you have hosted. I'm talking about students. Just 2 or 3. Okay. How many of you are aware of concept of hackathons? Okay, very few. How many of you are with technical background, maybe engineering or technology? Okay. And many of the students who are with engineering and technology are not aware of concepts of hackathons. Okay. Good to know. So, the Smart India Hackathon initiative actually started about 4 years back. This is the 3rd edition which you're working on. And the first 2 editions were pretty successful. I'm really surprised as how you people are not aware of it. But anyway. So first, because large number of students have raised hands what hackathon means, let me put it in the right context from there. We will start with what hackathons are. So hackathon is usually a combination of hack plus marathon, right? As a word. So it's a competition. Can you please put it on silent, sir? So hackathon, as I said, is a competition where you're given a problem statement to solve. And you as a team with 2 members, 3 members, 5 members, 6 members, actually work non-stop for 36 hours, 48 hours, depending upon the format, and you actually build a product. The product has to work at the end of the day. Okay? Mostly it is confined to software products. It starts, and now we have also gone ahead and evolved hardware products, or hardware hackathon, which we are calling. So this year, we have software as well as hardware. Now please raise hand on how many of you can code or can pretend to code? Huh? At least you can pretend, right, that you can code. Huh? So it's mostly for them. And how many are from mechanical, electrical, those kind of things? You can also participate because we have hardware edition. Okay? The software edition is on 2nd and 3rd of March. And the hardware edition will be in June. Okay? The 2nd week of June. We are still working on those dates. So what we do? It's very, very simple. But before coming to that, what we are doing, why we are doing, I will share with you some good statistics. Can you guess at any given time point how many students in India are doing engineering and technology? Can you guess? How many? 3 lakhs. In India, I am talking about. I am saying engineering and technology. So, any other guess? 15 lakhs. Any other guess? 20 lakhs. About 70 to 80 lakhs. So, you can understand the kind of competition you have now. Okay? And you will all agree with me that every student has to do a 6-month project in his 3 years or 4 years of his academic career, or that course, right? So, if you do back of the envelope calculation for the amount of efforts which get invested, it's somewhere between 5 to 10 lakh person years per year. 5 to 10 lakh person years per year. It's a time required for human evolution. And what happens? What comes out of these efforts? Nothing. Because what do? We go to our friend Google and then Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. Right? That's what we do. So we have zillions of problems on one side in this country which needs to be solved. There are millions of students on the other side which are capable of solving those problems, because many of the problems don't require rocket science kind of solutions. But are we getting them on the same platform? The answer is no. Even some of you want to do good projects or want to work on great ideas, and then you go to your prof, ke baba idea de do, kuch projects de do. Karte ho na? And then गाली देते हुए बाहर आते हो ना उसको कुछ नहीं आता बोल के, right? That's a fact of life. अरे लेकिन आप उसको भी समझो ना, वो 100 प्रोजेक्ट्स कैसे देगा, कहां से देगा? So there are 2 dimensions to it, right? So what we thought was whether we can get the problems and youngsters who are capable of solving those problems on a single platform. And that was the way the entire process of, or the concept of hackathon started at a government level. So in the first year, we went to multiple ministries. We went to Ministry of External Affairs, MHRD is with which I am working, then Railways, ISRO, DAE, Civil Aviation, you name them, and we went to them. and said that can you help us identify good problems? They worked on it. पहले तो बहुत बार होता है ये क्या नया आ गया, बस कभी नाम भी नहीं सुना होता है, बराबर है ना? आपने भी आज पहली बार नाम सुना ना, बहुत लोगों ने। वो तो ऑफिस मिनिस्ट्री ब्यूरोक्रेट्स है, वो तो पहले ही यू नो, राइट? यू नो हाउ वी आर, राइट? सो बट हमने उनको क्या किया? मोदी जी का डर दिखाया। अब करोगे कि नहीं बोलो, मैं तो बड़े साहब को बोल देंगे, बराबर है ना? यहां भी ऐसे ही चलता है ना, यहां बड़े साहब अलग है, मैडम है यहां। So what we did was, we went to these ministries, we asked for problem statements, and fortunately, we got about 600 problem statements from 26 different ministries. The problems which need to be solved. So we listed, we gathered, we created bank of those problem statements, and we posted it on MyGov, PM's, our Honorable PM's website. MyGov, you know that, right? And we appeal to students that explore whether you can actually give some innovative solutions for some of these problem statements. In the first year, we had participation from about 40,000 students. Then in second edition, that is 2018, last edition, which happened, we had problem statements from 26 ministries as well as 17 state governments. So large number of state governments also participated. And we had about 1,200 problem statements. And we actually posted, and 1 lakh students participated. And this year, we are further innovating. Apart from government organizations, we approached private organizations. And now we have 95 private companies on board and about 17, 18 central ministries on board. So about 115 organizations are on board who are saying that we are ready to put out problems. Can you help us build solutions for it? Okay? And you name them and they are with us. From ITC to Marico Industries to Tatas to Bajaj's to Adani's, TVS, Maruti Suzuki, Indian Oil, Ericsson, Dale, Dr. Reddy, Sun Pharma. You name them and they are with us. And everyone has shared 2, 3, 5, 7 problem statements. ISRO, Department of Atomic Energy, Ministry of Railways, from that side. And currently, the problem statements are available, and that's the reason I'm here, on SIH.gov.in. SIH is Smart India Hackathon. So SIH.gov.in. The problem statements are there. So I want you to look at all the problem statements which are listed out there. There are about 500 plus problems which we have put out. And you have to submit an idea, solution for it. Okay? And the last date for submission of these ideas is 20th of January. So today is 9th. So you have 11 days. Okay? So getting it, so what you need to do? Your college needs to identify a SPOC, single point of contact, SPOC, SPOC, single point of contact. Who is the faculty? They have to register first. The first step is SPOC registration. Then, as teams can be created, any students can go ahead and create their own teams. The teams have to see 6-member team. And we are saying one has to be a girl out of that 6-member team. Okay? That's what we are recommending. Initially, we had made it compulsory, but the colleges which don't have girls, only boys colleges, sometimes have a problem. So, but we are recommending them. It's very strong recommendation. One has to be a girl. Okay? 6-member team, one has to be a girl. from same institute. So you can select any of the problem statement and submit your approach on how you are going to attack that problem or solve that problem. Okay? It's a 4-slider PPT, and we will evaluate. And we have good evaluators recommended by these companies and ministries who will actually look at those. The format is given. Okay? So SPOC has to register first, then students have to form their teams. SPOC needs to approve those teams. So SPOC is the person who tells us that these are not fake teams. These are real teams from my college. Okay? So there are letters. A format of those letters are given out there, which the students and the SPOC has to upload. Okay? Once the team is approved by SPOC, then the team can submit its idea, which again needs to be approved by SPOC. Because till last year, we never had this step, but we saw students doing unnecessary gimmickry or unnecessary, they were playing with the system and used to upload anything. Okay? कुछ लोगों ने तो porn भी upload कर दिया था, PPT में डाल के. Our students are very creative, right? So now we have put a system saying that SPOC has to take responsibility. At least he has to check that the idea is relevant to the problem statement. कोई transportation का problem था, किसी ने दिया था, apart from the, and how you will solve a problem of transportation by using IoT and that kind of a problem statement था. तो एक ने तो ऐसा भेज दिया था कि मैं तो flyovers बनाऊंगा. ये बाबा, problem पढ़ो पहले क्या दिया है. So a lot of people do a lot of things. So we want SPOCs to look at and at least ensure that the idea which is submitted is relevant with the problem statement. And then it gets into evaluation for us, and we will look into it. Apart from that, once the teams are selected, then the actual hackathon happens physically. Okay? And you will have to travel. We will pay for your travel. Okay? So last year, we had 26 centers across India. They were in different cities. And students were asked to travel to that city. So it's an opportunity for you to travel to different places, see India, interact with other students. For example, in one center, you get 30 teams or 20 teams or 50 teams competing against each other on the same problem statement. Okay? And those teams can come from Andaman to Manipur to Rajasthan, from Kashmir, anywhere from India. And you actually compete during those 36 hours and build that product. Okay? So the grand finale which we talk about for software hackathon, as I said, is on 2nd and 3rd of March. That's very, very important. So I want you to go to SIH website and look into it. Now the question you will ask, मैं ये क्यों करूँगा? Why I should do it? What's in there for me? मुझे क्या मिलेगा? Any guesses? What you will get? Prizes ठीक है. Price ठीक है. It's not. एक लाख रुपए से क्या होगा आप लोगों का? बराबर है ना? 50,000 से 1 लाख रुपए तक प्राइस है. उससे क्या होगा? 6 बच्चों में जब डिवाइड हो जाता है. So apart from prize, which is very, very secondary, what you will get? Internship, maybe, may not be. If company likes your idea, then they will certainly take you. If they don't like your idea, I don't know. That could be one. Platform to showcase talent. Okay. Experience. Students have come to me and told me from last 2 hackathons at least, that's my experience, that they have told us that what they have not learned in 4 years of their entire education course, they could learn in those 2 months or 3 months of this period, you know? Because when you are solving a problem, or when you are looking at a problem, you start looking it at a 360-degree angle. When you are conceptualizing, because you want to conceptualize a solution, right, for that, solving that problem. So you try to identify who are the good team members, who are the best people who can actually help you develop the entire approach. So you learn a lot about product engineering, architecture, technology, right? Then you start looking at the domain. Okay, this problem is an oil domain or pharma domain or someone. So you start reading up the domain and how to apply your domain knowledge to that. Then how to compete. So time management, okay? Because you have to build a product at the end of the day, right? At the end of 36 hours. To learn that also. There's a multiple, so it's a very enriching kind of an experience, okay? And you are getting that while competing with the best of the people across India. That is another addition, okay? So you're competing at national level. And India is really good in terms of software power, right? So that's the first most important thing. Another important thing is that you know what happens to our projects, right? We do it, we submit it, A grade, B grade, C. तो वो भी हम मांडवली करते बैठे हैं, नहीं इसको B नहीं, इसको A देना चाहिए with the professor, right? एक बार हो गया shelf, बाद में रद्दी, right? Here, someone is going to use your project and implement it, okay? It's going to get implemented. So that's the second benefit. The third benefit, as he rightly said, that if the idea is really novel, you can go ahead and do your own startups because you are actually solving a problem. So there is a market out there. That's the third benefit. And fourth benefit, as many of you were saying, prizes. Okay? So आपके तो सभी पांचों उंगलियां घी में है. Okay? So you should think of going to SIH website, identify your problem statement, identify areas which you want to work. You may be passionate about agriculture, you may be passionate about tourism, you may be passionate about health, pharma, or automobile, or IT, and you will find those problem statements there. Okay? So that's for software hackathon. The hardware hackathon, which we are working, it's a very, very innovative model which we have designed by ourselves. How many of you have seen, I have not seen a single episode, I will be very honest with you, program called as Big Boss? So people started laughing, right? Some bunch of jokers are put into one house. And all the tantrums happen. We all are aware, right? So we asked whether we can use a similar concept for promoting innovation last year. So we said, let's hire workshops instead of a house. And let's put some talented students inside of that. Okay? So we said that we will hire a workshop and we will put maybe 10, 15 teams with good ideas and we will give them everything inside that workshop, what they want. Okay? From mentors to product engineers, design engineers, best kind of instruments, and the only condition what they have to do is go in with the concept and come out with a product. And last year, I will be very, very happy to share with you, it was a phenomenal success. We have about 10, 15 now startups coming out of that. And students are actually taking those products forward. We hired 10 workshops. IISc Bangalore, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Roorkee, IIT Guwahati, some CSIR labs. And we actually gave students what they wanted. And many of the students, some students asked for boats, some students asked for tankers, trucks, rickshaws, hand pumps, and whatnot, and we actually gave them. Okay? We just told students, give us 10 days before the actual hackathon, what are your requirements, and we will try to arrange everything for you. Multiple sensors were asked, and apart from that, if you require a CNC machine, or we actually made all those things available for the students. And that was a very, very unique experiment. We are going to write a paper on it right now. But this year also, we are going to have a hardware hackathon, a similar hardware hackathon, where some of the good concepts which you will submit to us, we will be actually selecting it and putting those students for 5 days, 6 days in those workshops. And this year, we are planning to hire 25 such workshops. And if the products are good, please. And if the products are good, then we are going to fund that. So currently we are working on creating a fund also to fund those startups. Last year we didn't have that fund. This year we will be having that fund. So we are currently getting those approvals. And we assure you that if your project is good, there will be no scarcity of money. That is another important thing. So look at the problem statements. If you have any other idea apart from those problem statements, you say, I have a very different idea, but it has a huge potential, then there is a theme called a student corner or student innovation, where you can submit your problem statement and your idea solution also. So don't think that मेरे पास नहीं है ये problems के लिए कुछ तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. If you have a good idea, just go ahead and submit that. We have created that corner because problems are what we have, but when it comes to students, there could be many more ideas, and we should give those opportunities also. So there is one theme, student innovation, where you can go ahead and submit it, okay? So this is in brief about Smart India Hackathon. So if you have any questions, I will take those questions, and then we will actually look into other things. Any questions? So, I understood your question. You are talking about the timelines and whether there is enough time left. We announced all our problem statements 2 months back. There were a lot of advertisements in newspaper. We had sent emails, SMSs to more than 10,000 institutions. it's very, very unfortunate that the people in your institute who might have, I'm not saying they will certainly have, who might have received the information, never bothered to share. It's very, very difficult to know that. Because advertisements were pan-India advertisements. And they were in multiple newspapers. Okay? Last year, we saw participation from 1,600 institutions, colleges, 1,600. If your institutions have left out, you also have to ask, why I am not getting that information? Okay? One. Second, regarding the actual, whether the time is there. If you see a problem, and if you see there is a solution for it, or if you can conceptualize solution for it, then, because getting an idea is a flash, you know. Working on idea takes time, because devils are in the details. So currently, this step is actually submitting the concept. Okay? So what we are saying is that if this is a problem, I want you to submit a concept. That's the reason we are only asking for 4-slider PPT, not more than that. Okay? Where you have to explain the concept, what you wish to do. And then, if you are selected, your concept is selected, then you get about a month to actually think about it before coming to the grand finale. Okay? So it's not impossible within these timelines to actually go ahead and propose a solution. Okay? Have I answered your question to some extent? To some extent. Any other question? Good question. And the answer is, if your students can code, they can. Yeah, but in general streams also nowadays a lot of students can code. Even school students can code nowadays. I have seen large number of school students in 7th standard, 8th standard actually designing apps and those kind of things. So don't underestimate your students. Ask, and maybe they have. See, at the end of the day, you require 5-6 people only. If you have 200, 500, 1,000, you will always get 5-6 students who can actually do it. And then many of the general colleges have MCAs and those kind of courses, you know, who can actually go ahead. Yes. One team can make multiple attempts. They can try multiple number. Just ensure that it's a 6-member group and 1 member is not present in multiple groups. Yes, because based on because it's a 36 hours long process, so sometime couple of members can rest and others can work, and you know, in turn they go ahead. So girl, so usually the format is like this: 6 students, out of which 1 has to be a girl. Okay? The students can be from any stream. We don't care, but they need to code. So if the mechanical engineer is there and he can do it, it's fine. Okay? If there is a pharma problem or a life sciences, so you can have 1 student who may not code but who could be a domain expert. We are fine with that. Okay? Then each team has 2 mentors. Okay? Each team can get 2 mentors. So it's a 6 plus 2, 8. Mentors could be from industry. Ideally, we ask students to get mentors from the industry. But sometimes students have problems getting those mentors. So in that case, have 1 faculty member as a mentor, and ideally 1 industry should be a mentor. Industry person. Okay? Because as they are working hands-on, these industry people, You know, they will help you on designing good architecture, which technology you should select, what are the shortcuts which you can take, you know, those kind of things, which will help you compete better. Okay? Most important thing, which is for students, you select the mentors. Don't allow someone to force themselves to be your mentor. Because colleges में क्या होता है मुझे मालूम है. Go ahead, ma'am. You can hear me, the last person? PUBG बाद में खेलना.
Yeah, one is like it is related to the basic idea why you had actually started this Smart India Hackathon. It's like you wanted to promote the engineering and technical skills of the nationwide students who are there in this particular discipline to cater to the problems of the nation, right? So then, if that is so, then why are you restricting the team members to be of only one particular or of the same institute? Because it could be...
I agree. I got your question. It's a very, very relevant question. And I will be very honest with you. It helps us from a logistic perspective. Okay? It's easy for us to validate. The reason I'm telling you is a lot of girls travel and at a particular center, there are multiple teams coming from multiple areas. If we keep everything open, unvalidated, then it becomes very, very difficult for us from a safety angle. Anyone can easily sneak in. Okay? For us, when a college is on board, and if they certify these are my students with the help of Spock, then we are a bit relieved. Whether we are 100% relieved? No. But we are a bit relieved that somebody is taking the ownership of the students who are coming. And for us, it's easy, you know, to manage, because last time we had 1,200 teams traveling, and 8 members per team. So we are talking somewhere around 10,000. It's very difficult for us to manage. We are a small team, right? And if we open it for all, then all sorts of nonsense elements can get into it, which could be a big headache for us. So it's more from a logistic perspective than, but ideally, in ideal world, yes, what do you say should be the thing?
Okay, I have another question. The question is say suppose a team had submitted their idea, they got selected. I'm talking to like with respect to the hardware hackathon, okay? Now once the team has been selected, then do they get the scope to actually know the workshops which have been selected for this particular purpose and go and have a visit as to what are the facilities available there?
No. So what we do is very simple. If your team is selected, we ask your team, what do you want? What other things are there in the workshop? It's not your headache, right? If you want these 20 things, and if we give you those 20 things, your job is done, right? Why you have to go and workshop and see what? If that starts happening, then it will be very difficult for the institutes if flocks of students coming in and started, हमको ये देखना है, वो देखना है, वो देखना है. We are very simple. तुमको क्या चाहिए वो बोलो, and we will give you that. It's as simple as that. Apart from that, we also give design engineers, product engineers well in advance so that they can talk and actually go ahead and shortlist or compile their list of requirements in a much better way. So we do that. Yes, it has to be a college faculty. Go ahead, sir. I'm here for, I wasted my couple of days, so don't worry. I'm here for you.
This is with the hat of the member of the IQAC advisory committee, you know. The next thing is on ranking, and I just want to ask you that suppose I'm from Durgapur University, which has...
No, ranking, we will come to it later.
No, it's okay. I mean, this is related to this. That's why I asked. I mean, suppose we have a very good sophisticated workshop and multiple ones. So my question is, suppose my institute is chosen as one of the workshops for your hackathons. We can do that as well. I mean, does it have any bearing on the ranking?
Which ranking? ARIA ranking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, great. That's
so yes, it is. So we are going to ask what all the initiatives you have conducted and those kind of things. It's part of that process. Anything else?
Actually, this time also we have applied to host this Jan.
Let's
so
not
when,
take about
no,
the
when
host
we'll
thing
come
here.
to know the time.
So in next 10 days, we will be announcing the
Okay,
center.
that's I wanted.
Yes. I want to talk more to students when it comes, because they are the real stakeholders when it comes to Smart India Hackathon. Anything? Any question from any student? You are from mechanical department, na? But in other departments there will be girls, right? Or there are no girls? Use that. Use this opportunity. Don't ask me for what. Huh? It's a good opportunity, right? Huh? So use, because see, even if hardware, for example, if you're looking at hardware, you look into sensors, you look into electronics, so because now there is nothing like a complete mechanical thing, right? It's all interdisciplinary. Create a team like that. The reason why we have included girls, we also understand this problem, but we want to ensure that good female technologists are created in this country, right? Currently, it's a bit biased towards male. But moving forward, we need to ensure that they become equal stakeholders. And Modi is very, very clear about it. He wants to ensure that girls are part of this entire. And I will tell you very honestly, we have a lot of teams where there are only 6 girls and they're winning. So it's not that you cannot find a good technical girl. There are many. And I'm talking from co-ed, not from girls' colleges. From co-ed, girls go ahead and form their own teams and they actually win. And some of those we actually took it to Smart India, India-Singapore hackathon, joint hackathon. The first international hackathon which actually happened government to government. So I was coordinating directly from Prime Minister's office, and we actually did that. And about a month and a half back in November. And we actually took 20 teams from India. 20 teams from India and 20 teams from Singapore were competing against each other. And we had a couple of girl teams there. Okay.
Hello. Sir, is it mandatory that...
Where? Who? Hello, okay.
Is it mandatory for us to have an industrial mentor?
No, it's not mandatory. Mentor is mentor. Okay. Ideally, we recommend that you should have an industry mentor. If you don't get, it's your problem.
So, can we provide a solution to multiple problems, or we have to stick to a single problem?
No, you can work for multiple problems. But you have to submit multiple entries for multiple problem statement. Within one entry, don't put multiple problems, multiple solutions. You are getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
5 problems है, उसके आगे तो 5 PPT सबमिट करो. एक PPT में 5 मत डाल के करो. Okay? Anything else? Yes, go ahead, sir. No. So if you have, for hardware, it will be great. For software, we don't ask for. Okay? What we want is more of an approach. Okay, because if you're saying that, yeah, मैं machine learning से ये करेगा, मैं blockchain learning से ये करेगा, those kind of things. So we understand. all that.
The second question is, like you talked about the mentors, like do you provide a list of mentors which are registered with you, then we can choose or...
So initially, first year we tried doing that, to be very honest with you. But there were some students, some mentors actually traveled for students, because we want mentors to travel along with students. But many mentors dropped out at the last level, at the, you know. So it became very difficult for us, and ethically it became a huge problem for us, because we said we will give you a mentor, and that mentor dropped out, and student teams were left high and dry. Okay? So last year we took the decision that we will not give mentors. We will ask students to go ahead and do mentor, identify their mentors. So this was, but 1 minute, let me finish. But we saw very big advantage eventually when we spoke to students. We realized that there was a big advantage to the students, because students told us that gave them an opportunity to approach someone in industry and build that relationship. Okay? If we don't push you to do it, you will not do it. That was not initially our plan. I will be very honest with you. But eventually it turned out blessing in disguise. Okay? And students actually started connecting with their alumni, you know, their seniors who are working in industry, tried convincing them and those kind of things. And actually they could easily get. Okay? Okay.
Yes, sir, one more thing, like, do you have any standard for the mentors, like from the industry, they must be from...
So we are saying about 6 years of actual hands-on experience. Okay. But if somebody is 4 years and competent, yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Thank you,
See,
sir. That's all.
Nowadays, competency, ideas has nothing to do with age. Okay? If you ask me, we, including me, and the people sitting on the first 2 rows are the most dummiest people here. You know, they pretend to be intelligent, or we, when I say they. We pretend to be intelligent, but are we really intelligent? No. You people are more intelligent. Because the capacity which you have to think out of box, we don't have that. We will always think incremental. Okay? I will give you one example. You know, Abdul Kalam ji always, he started innovator or a medal, president medal for innovative kids, okay? Or innovators in India. Not just kids, but innovators. Can you guess the age of youngest innovator to get that medal? Can you guess?
13-year-old boy?
13, okay. Anything, any other guess? Any other guess? 13 he said, okay, 13 again. Anything lay? No other guess? 8 years is the another guess. Anything else than that? 5.5. 5.5-year-old kid is the youngest, Chris Ananthan, his name, is the youngest kid to get a President Award. Now you must be thinking what idea he proposed, right? What a 5.5-year-old can propose which can win him a President Award, right? You all must be thinking. But it's an idea at the end of the day. And they liked it and they gave it. So how many of you have seen students or kids, small baby, walking with those shoes which make noise, pack, 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 pack? We all have seen, right? Baby is 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years. So Chris saw his younger sister, 2 years old, walking with those shoes, pack, 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 pack. So he went to his father, asked how that आवाज कैसे आता है, how that sound gets generated, you know, something of that sort. 5 साल का बच्चा, 5.5 साल का बच्चा, उसको क्या पिताजी समझाएंगे, right? So they said, there is a whistle here. Air comes from this side, you push, air goes from other end, the whistle blows, right? It's very simple. That's the best what you can explain to a 5.5-year-old kid, right? After 3 days, Chris came to his father and asked that if we remove or replace a whistle with a filter there, whether those shoes can become vacuum cleaner shoes. So when mummy will walk on the floor will get cleaned automatically. It's a nice idea, right? It's a very, very simple but a nice idea. How many of us thought about it? So National Innovation Foundation, which works on identifying such ideas in India, actually confirmed that it was the son idea, not his father's idea. You know, हमें मालूम है क्या होता है, right? And then they gave him that medal. But, okay, this is a rare. How many of you have heard about Yuvraj Bharadwaj and Yashraj Bharadwaj, 2 19-year-old kids? They are currently 19. How many of you have heard about them? Yuvraj and Yashraj Bharadwaj, twins. You have heard? What do you have heard about them? Only that. So Yuvraj and Yashraj Bharadwaj started their venture when they were in 7th standard, 6.5, yeah. After, so around, how many? 11 years, 11 and a half years when they were there. And now, they have 2 big offices. One is in Dubai, Burj Khalifa. They have office in Burj Khalifa and in Delhi, Hotel Leela. They employ 130 people, out of which 32 are PhDs. Okay? The international turnover is about 102, 103 million. Their Indian turnover is somewhere 180 crores. They are first generation entrepreneurs with no background of entrepreneurship. They hold 40 patents, and the first idea which they started working on when they were in 7th standard on water purification, and now they are into consultancy. They employ a lot of people and actually take turnkey projects. So few days back, we were chatting and we were discussing, and they were keen on taking my help on exploring how they can identify such bright kids like them in India through MHRD, AICT, so that they can actually work with them. So initially, their story is also funny. So initially, yes, go ahead, sir.
So this is in context to the question that you have put regarding what the students are supposed to get out of this particular event. And you are saying that it is basically a transformation from a concept to a product. Now the question is, if a student's product or a solution to a particular problem statement gets selected by a firm, they really like it, will the student get the opportunity to go for IPR?
Yes, it will be a joint IPR.
With the firm and the
Yes.
Student group?
Yes.
Okay.
It will be a joint IPR. The reason is, if you have identified a problem, it means half problem solved.
Thank you.
So, okay, but I was coming to this Yuvraj. So, what happened was that when they were in 6th standard or 7th standard initially, when they were working on their problem statement, they had to do something related to thermodynamics. They went to their teachers. You know how teachers are. Yeah? They couldn't answer. So they wrote to few IIT professors. They never replied. So they did a trick, which they are not very proud of. They told me, but they did it. They actually created a fake Facebook account with name of Katrina Kaif. And then they started writing to professors, and immediately the reply started coming. Okay? After answers, they also started asking those professors, kahan milenge, dinner pe jayenge kya? So if any of you get those kind of emails, be aware. Suddenly some actor writing to you, okay, or an actress writing to you. And now they're so successful. So as I was saying, we are dead brains. You people are the future. And you have to actually think about those problems, and you are only capable of giving good solutions. Okay? Any other question? Any other question? No? I was expecting a lot of questions from students. बंगाल में लोग क्वेश्चंस पूछते नहीं हैं क्या? Good. So I have pressed the right button, Bengali pride.
Sir, actually in our institute, recently there has been the change of spoke.
Yeah.
So we have uploaded the college document,
Okay.
but how much time will get before we get communicated?
You write to the people. Na? I
Okay.
don't look into all those emails.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah. But if you have written, it may happen, because we are allowing anyway 2 people, because we know all these problems. एक person होता है वो काम नहीं करता है या बच्चे को बोल देता है तू ही कर ले, सब हम जानते हैं. So we are allowing 2 Spocks in that way. Spock is ideally a single point of contact, but we are allowing 2. Any other question? No? Okay.